Yes,
Yes, it is
beautiful.
recording now.
Yes. So a beautiful evening, all of us ladies. I can see we are yet to join. We are around 13 of us. As we wait, kindly say hello in the chat. Let us know where you are joining us from. We have Ina Guya from Turkana. Ina, say hello in the chat. Hello, hello in the chat. Tell us where you are joining from. Yes, tell us where you are joining us from this evening. Let's appreciate you. Can see. Oh, Dr. Sarah, you are here. Where are you? Yes, I can see you. Where are you joining us this evening? I'm waiting. She's on her way to Eldoret. Inaguya says she's in Kakuma, Turkana, and she's one of our speakers this evening. Eunice is joining us from Nairobi. Jen joining from Eldoret. Wow, okay. Kipsang Edith is joining us from Machakos. Amazing, amazing. Let's see. Mumbi, you are also from Machakos. Esther, you're joining us from Nairobi. Wow, amazing, amazing. Where are you joining us, Joyce, from? You have not told us.
Oh, I'm sorry. From Machakos County.
You're also joining us from Machakos County. Rebecca is joining us from Nairobi. Dr. Pamela, I think so, is joining. No, that's not Dr. Pamela. Pamela is joining us from Nairobi. Joyce from Machakos. Rose from Rongo. Paris from Kirinyaga. What? The face of Kenya is here. This is super, super amazing. I wonder how many we are right now. We are building the numbers as we wait to start. So feel welcome. This is the Iam Leading Book Club. This is Iam Leading Book Club. So,
oh my goodness. So get a coach.
So this is season 15 of the Iam Leading Book Club. And we are here to unleash the she leader that is within you, because you are born to lead. You are amazing. And in this book club, you can find your voice. We can ignite your greatness. We can help you to step up, to step out, and to stand out. So welcome to the Iam Leading Book Club season 15. And we are having a book review of one of the books we have been reading this season. And this season, we have been reading several books. So today, we are just reviewing one of them. And we want to be inspired by our speakers who are going to speak to us this evening. But before this, I invite the amazing speakers that we have. Let me introduce to you the topic of the day. And we are asking ourselves a very amazing question. Is your life a maze, or is it amazing? And we are going to hear from our beautiful speakers this evening what their experience has been. Has their lives been a maze, or they are turned around and it's now amazing? So who is speaking to you this? My name is Lois Mutoti, those who we have not interacted, a leadership coach, a trainer, a speaker, and most recently, an author. So I am here, and my whole purpose is just to inspire you, to influence you, that you may have an impactful life. So I am your host this evening, and I am so sure we shall have an amazing evening. So back to the question, is your life a maze or amazing? And you cannot answer this question first without understanding where we are coming from as we talk about a maze. What is a maze, so that we understand? And to help us answer this, I want to take you through what we call a maze. And that is a maze. And I'm sure you've seen this kind of games where you find yourself in a maze and you try to find your journey out of the maze. So as you can see, there is an entry to the maze. There's also an exit of the maze. But most of the times when you are dropped at the center of it, that is at the center of your life, you may find it so hard to navigate. You may wonder, oh my goodness, without a map, without some signposts showing me that road leads to Mombasa and that one leads to Kisumu. How do I navigate? How do I navigate through this maze? And sometimes we find ourselves in such a maze in our lives where, just like the children of Israel, we find ourselves in the wilderness for 40 years. And yet, Canaan's land, kindly let's mute. You find yourself 40 years maze. Wonder, how did I end up here? Or how will I come out of this place? So you go round and round in cycles without knowing what is the way forward. I wonder how many times we have felt like this. That you find that sometimes the paths, you set up a goal at the beginning of the year and you have bold vision. You are excited about your life, and you find up in a twist and a turn. I'm trying to see if this is not muted, Anna. So you find yourself in twists and turns without knowing where to go. A dead end sometimes, and you are so frustrated because there's no breakthrough, and you feel stuck and all alone. I wonder this evening, how many of us have found ourselves in such a situation where you find you're so tired, you want to have a breakthrough, but there's no breakthrough that is coming. You are so frustrated and disappointed. You wonder, is life worth the living? This evening, we want to find those and identify those roadblocks that make life feel like a maze. And from the stories from the speakers this evening, we are going to identify one or two. At the end of this meeting, you should be able to tell us what are your roadblocks that have made life not feel amazing, but feel like a maze. You could be stuck in debts. You could be in a job that sounds like it's a dead end by itself. You could be in a marriage that is no longer interesting. There's no joy. Your life could just be in a mess. Relationships that are breaking and not mending. That is the question. Hey, this evening, we want to shift from merely surviving. You know, in the maze, you just survive. But we want to call you to a higher ground where you are thriving, where you are glowing, where you are blossoming, because life can be amazing and very, very amazing. So before I invite my speakers, let me just remind you a few things because I may not have that time. That life is not a race. Ladies, life is not a race. So stop running. Stop running. Instead, embrace a new perspective. And the new perspective is life is a journey. Life is not a straight line. As we have said, there'll be twists and turns. So when it's a journey, when you have that better perspective, what happens? You start now enjoying the roses. You will go through the valleys. You will navigate through the twists, the bends, the bridges. And sometimes you'll be on the mountaintops and you'll be rejoicing and having a song in your heart. What I'm inviting to you this evening is to be present in every season of your life. Whether you are at the valley, deep or at the mountaintop. The invitation is for you now to start enjoying life as it comes and start experiencing life. And as you do this, ladies and gentlemen who are here, you start the journey of becoming the better version of yourself. So do not run through life so fast that you forget not only where you have been, but also where you are going. And sometimes it feels like that when life is like a roller coaster. You even forget where you are going. Your vision becomes crowded. So life is not a race, but it is a journey, ladies, a journey to be savored each step of the way. And that is the life I'm inviting you to, an amazing life. And I'm here to tell you that it is possible. It is possible. So in this journey of life, don't chase, don't run. Instead, become a magnet. You know, a magnet just attracts. It doesn't have to struggle because within it, it has the characteristics of magnetism. And just by being a magnet, then you start attracting to yourself events, resources, people, and support will come to you so easily and effortlessly. You will not need to struggle. You will not need to run. Life is not a race. Remember, you are in this alone. We are not competing with any person. It is, you are in this journey alone. You are competing with yourself and asking yourself, am I better than yesterday? Am I better than last month? Am I better than last year? So as you increase your magnetism, ladies, you become a magnet for success. Alberta, kindly mute and stay muted. Beautiful. So if we have to get out of this maze, then we have to trust what God has given to us. And what God has granted us is that inner guidance system. We have a guidance system within us, and this is a path unique for you that leads to endless joy. So you don't have to struggle. You don't have to run. They support all along the way. They support along the way. There is provision, and that's why we are here to provide this support. And I'm here to tell you that you are not alone. And the ladies that are going to speak this evening, God willing, are also going to show us that they have been part of a system. They have been part of a community that has helped them. So apart from the inner guidance that leads you, and that is God-given, you have that extra sense, the sixth sense, that you are able to tell, this way will get me out of the maze, this one will not get me out of the maze. It is God-given, but sometimes that voice, you can't hear it. Why? Because it's crowded with your roller coaster. You running every day. You wake up out of the bed. You don't even pray. You don't even have time to talk to your God. You are out in the jam, stay in the jam, into the job, into your business, people, things, higher, like that, until you can't listen to that inner guidance. But today we are going to learn how to be still, so that you can activate that inner guidance that is within you, because it is that inner guidance that is going to help you now to enter into your joy. So I am here to tell you there is provision, there is support. You are never alone, even if it feels like being alone in the maze of life. Life can be amazing. So I'm inviting you this evening, ladies, live an amazing life with gratitude, because gratitude is what unlocks that amazing life for you. Every day, count your blessings. When you wake up in the morning, pause, tulia, pause, count your blessings and number them one by one. What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? And I want to see that in the chat. What are you grateful for? You grateful? Kindly put that in the chat. I want to read one or two. The gift of life, Joyce, yes. Every morning, you can imagine waking up and thanking God. Thank you for the gift of life. Something else? Someone else? What else can we be grateful for? Good health. Imagine good health. How many people today are not enjoying good health? So many of us are not enjoying good health. But when you have the gift of good health, be grateful. And as you become grateful, as we said, you become a magnet for many more. Anna is so grateful for salvation. Yes, salvation is a gift from God and for her family. Now imagine every day just numbering those blessings, and it puts you in a frequency that just attracts. Catherine is also grateful for the gift of salvation. That's so amazing. Edith is grateful for good health and family. Wow, wow. This is amazing. And this is what makes the difference. Because most of the time, when you speak to people, the first thing they tell you is mashida, economy, so many things, everything is bad, bad, bad. How are you? Instead of saying I'm fine, they start telling you their problems. Ainike Mtoto says the gift of children. Yes, there are so many people. Having children is a prayer item. And here you are, you have children. Every day count your blessings and good health. So this is amazing, ladies. So live an amazing life. And you can unlock that life with gratitude when you start counting your blessings, when you reduce the space you give to those bad things that happen to you. Millicent says the gift of a sober mind. Oh my goodness, that is so powerful. Yes, Agnes is grateful for good health, family, and resources to use. And I want you also to be grateful for this support meeting that we have this evening, because we are here as a community of like-minded women, and we want to grow ourselves, and we are going to listen to stories and people speaking, and we are going to be empowered and inspired. So this is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Gratitude is changer. Now, let me give you three more that we are going to that is going to help you this evening. And one of them is identifying your self-limiting beliefs and reframing them. Why? Because remember the roadblocks that we talked about, roadblocks that keep us in a maze. One of them is self-limiting beliefs. Self-limiting beliefs can keep us in a maze. And what are these self-limiting beliefs? These are belief systems that are limiting. They don't help you to expand. They don't help you to become better, but they make you withdraw. They make you to shrink. They make you not to go after your dreams. So the first step is to identify what these self-limiting beliefs, and then now you start to reframe them. So the first question for you to, are you telling yourself every day, my friend, you are right. When you say, I can't do that, you are right. Afford it. You are right. But when you say, I can, you are also right. And that is the difference. What are you telling yourself every day? I've met women who say, I can't save any money. I have no shilling to save. And what becomes their reality? I'm telling you, tomorrow, they will not even have a shilling. Because as you speak, then you create your reality. Me, in my family, we are all big. I can't lose that weight. I can't release it. As you speak, it becomes. What are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself? You can or you can't? Because you are right, my friend. So common self-limiting beliefs for women, most of the time, they find themselves, they are walled inside the maze by imposter syndrome because they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe that they can. They, even when somebody identifies them, maybe you have been promoted, now you are the general manager in this organization, you still feel you don't deserve. That is meant for someone else, not for me. I remember when I started the book club, and that time, can you imagine, we used to pay 500 shillings. And you know what? There are ladies who are like, 500, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And today, many years after the book club, if you went to them, they will still be stuck there because they confess it, they believe it, and it becomes your reality. So what are you telling yourself this evening, ladies? You can or you can't, because either way, you are right. Another common belief that makes people stay stuck in the maze is the fear of failure. You know, they believe that whatever they do will not succeed. And if it succeeds, it will fail and they will enter into a problem. I'm sure you've heard people like that. And fear holds them stuck in the maze. They can't find the exit. Remember, every maze has an exit, but there are people who are held there, stuck by chains of failure. They think of going forward, but they remember the past. The past haunts them. They remember how they lost money in a business deal and they cannot invest anymore. They remember how their marriage failed and they cannot move on with their life, fear of failure. Another thing is perfectionism, and this leads to procrastination because you cannot move forward when you don't believe, when you think that you must have everything in place for you to move. I have seen ladies who wait for the perfect time for them to bloom. Then that perfect time never comes because life can be a maze. There are so many things happening there and you end up stuck. So the first step, ladies, what are you telling yourself this evening? Identify the self-limiting belief, crush it this evening, reframe it, and start now speaking the right words to yourself. I can do this. I am able. I may not see the way to Mombasa right now, but I know I'll be guided. I know I'll be directed. That is the conversation that you should start. I may not be able to attend that conference. I may not have the money right now, but I'm not going to speak as if I'm in defeat. Instead, I will reframe that statement and say that conference next year I am attending. How? I don't know. Because ladies, we must be women of faith. Women of faith speak things that are not as if they are. So identify your self-limiting belief and reframe them. Number two, I want to encourage us to cultivate self-compassion. Don't beat yourself so much. God is not even beating you. He has allowed forgiveness for you. So why are you beating yourself so much? Start now cultivating self-care and self-love. Start loving yourself. And one of the things that we practice in one of the clubs, I hope one of the ladies will speak about, is Rich and Royal Abundant Ladies Club. What we do there, we say, pay yourself first. The first 10% of what you earn, apart from giving to God in terms of your tithes, the next thing is to pay yourself. Yani, you are the first most important human being, not about God here, now about human being, and that is self-compassion. What about what I was saying? Waking up, practicing some self-care, having some time to pray, some time to work out, moving your body, some time to hydrate, and cultivate self-care practices that are going to help you in your life. As you do this, you start becoming a magnet. So start treating yourself with some kindness. When is the last time you went for that pedicure? When is the last time you went for that manicure, for that facial? When is the last time you went for a body massage? When is the last time you went and just bought coffee for yourself? Start cultivating self-compassion. The final thing I'm going to speak about is be part of a supportive community. And I'm so glad that you are here this evening, because this is part of a supportive community to help us, all of us together, as we are journeying to find an amazing life. So surround yourself with people who uplift you and encourage you to be a better version of yourself. Look at your growth. Just look around. Who are the 5 people that you are surrounding yourself with? Tap. I want to invite you now to start tapping on coaching, tapping on mentorship, tapping on networking with communities. And that's what we offer for you. We have the Woman of Excellence. That is a free WhatsApp community where we encourage ourselves. Start collaborating with like-minded people. We have the I Am Leading Book Club, where women readers who are leaders and change makers, we meet there to discuss about books. And that is the reason you are here this evening. Allow me now to introduce our first speaker. And I hope, Ina, you are still in the house. Ina is joining us from Turkana. She is a humanitarian worker. She works with forcibly displaced persons in Kakuma refugee camp, Turkana West Sub-County. Ina tells me she is a first daughter of 3 children, and she is a wife to 1 man. Ina loves hiking, camping, painting, poetry, hanging out with friends, and karaoke. Ina has been in the book club. I think this is her 2nd season. She was there last season, season 14, and now she's in season 15. Ina Guya, I hope you're in the house. Welcome and take it away. Ina?
Hello and good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, so my name is Ina. Like has been mentioned, I'm Ina Guya Akuno. I'm in Kakuma right now. I work here for and with refugees and asylum seekers. So maybe just a brief on how I got to learn about the book club. I was scrolling on Instagram, and sometimes depending on what the kind of things you like, I think the web usually just brings you things that are within that kind of line of things. So I was liking things on self-care, things are motivational, things to uplift you and all that kind of posts. And the book club post just popped up. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. So why not? I was already in a WhatsApp book club, but we were not reading together. And what that means is you can start a book in January and finish it in December, because you're doing it alone, it's at your own pace. So when I saw this call for anyone who's willing to join, I was like, okay, I think I could try this. So I joined the book club.
Have we lost? Okay. All right. She'll come back. I think it's just a problem of the network. Okay. Okay. So that has been Inaguya. Once she's in, I hope she'll be able to continue. Okay, so she's talking about the book club, and the book club is where we nourish our minds, where we scatter our self-limiting beliefs, like the limiting beliefs I've just been talking about. Is a place where we invite you to start listening to that inner voice that I was telling you about, where you start now following your heart, because this gets ignited within you. It is a place where we start cultivating excellent leadership habits. And one of the habits that we do is self-care. As Ina was talking about, this is a place where we activate all these things in a safe space. Is safe. Ina, are you in or not yet? Okay, if she's not in, I want to take Abhishek. Are you in the house? Abhishek?
Yes, Coach Lois, I'm here.
Okay, I don't know. I can't see her.
Hello.
Yes, oh, you're back, eh?
Oh, I am so sorry. Okay, the bad thing about where I am, the network sometimes just drops. Safaricom is never stable, so I'm sorry.
It's all right. Continue.
So I was mentioning that I joined the group from the Insta post. I reached out to the coach, and I think what I liked most when I joined was the groupings that we were given. So each team gets to do something together, and it brings a sense of accountability. And I remember speaking to a friend of mine, and she was like, I think I love what you guys are doing. At the end of the day, you're following each other. You know who's taking what part, and it helps you read. It also helps you if I have another friend who sometimes stands next to my shelf, and she's like, I just feel like opening each page of this book and I feel like I have read something. But sometimes where I am and the kind of things we do, it gets hard to read. And this book club has helped me keep a schedule on how I can read. And even when sometimes I am behind, I feel like everyone is going to leave me behind, so I have to catch up. And I think that is the kind of push, that is the kind of support I needed um, with the group. So this is my second uh, this is my second time joining the book club. I was in the last season, and I would probably say the last season was me trying to build up on certain habits just so that I'm able to follow through. So coming to this season, I was like, okay, I need to do this better. I need to speak life into myself. I need to find ways of keeping to the schedule because I have a problem with consistency sometimes. So this book club particularly has been able to help me with that. If I could go to the book, Out of the Maze, last season we read about the maze itself. So we were talking about Carrie, Smith, and Bo. And like everyone else, of course, you wonder what happens to Ho, because sometimes you see that there are bits of yourself you see in Ho. And I think even as we were finishing this book, the first one, Who Moved My Cheese, I kept feeling that sometimes you're a Scarry, sometimes you're a Smith, there are sometimes you're a Hem, but sometimes you're a Ho. There are certain aspects of your life you find that you're never moving, and probably because of fear, probably because you think, how do I get this rolling? How do I self-motivate? But I think I've found the club to be most supportive, especially with accountability. So the book Out of the Maze, I think what I have learned most about Out of the Maze is we think sometimes that a solution is like the problem is X, definitely the solution is Y. And sometimes we never stop to reflect and think, what if that alone is not the solution? And the reaction that we have, probably if this was not something you found a solution to and someone else did, the reaction is that you thought you had the right solution, and you thought this is exactly how to go, but that didn't work in as much as it was right. Another solution worked. So sometimes you have to go back, and this is something I've also learned. You have to go back to the drawing board and allow yourself to self-reflect, allow yourself to accommodate other things, because right or wrong, what matters is you're able to actually accommodate different solutions to a problem. Sometimes there are things that you're very uncomfortable with. For example, you've been doing, say, for example, a job, and you feel like this is what I need to be doing, this is where I'm comfortable with, and you don't want to change because you don't feel like any other thing would make sense to you. But when you try something new, there's some discomfort, there's something that tells you this is new, this is not something you're used to. But sometimes it's said that that thing that makes you uncomfortable is probably your gateway to something new. It's almost like what he said in the book, the dark corners where hope and hope were initially avoiding. And I look at hope, and it reminds me about the parables in the Bible, uh, the lost sheep, the lost coin, the lost, what was the other one? There, I think three. So I think of hope as the lost coin. Different from the other parables, the lost coin never knows it is lost, and they think everything is okay. This is exactly the situation of Ho when he was still trying to make sense of why he's still where he is, why no one is coming back. He felt entitled to the cheese station, which has been dry, and realizing that he's going to die, he starts off small. It is only until days of going round and round into the maze that he realizes this is exactly what Hem meant. Hem meant that you actually have to reevaluate your own beliefs, you have to reevaluate your own thoughts. And the interesting thing is that thoughts attract action. So if you think you're not going to be able to do something, you will definitely not be able to do it. if you decide and tell yourself, this is something I am able to do, I am able to go through this, you will be able to do that. So right now, I think things that I've taken out is, as opposed to some time back when I would be a little rigid to certain options, I am pretty much open. And I say, I mean, at the end of the day, there is a solution. The goal has been met, and we have not done something that probably hurts another person or goes against our values and all that. So it has helped me be open, be comfortable with an uncomfortable situation, but at the same time, it has helped me find myself in the sense that these books we are reading throw you into self-reflection. And every time you go through the questions that the coach is giving, you find yourself going into balls and balls of reflection. And even with the journaling, it really helps a lot. So for now, my certain practices is I've learned to have certain themes for every month. So, for example, say in April, my theme for the month is clarity. So in everything I am doing, I want to see clarity, that I am understanding what it is I need to do. If I am communicating, I understand what it is I am communicating to someone. If we are discussing something with a friend or with a family or with my coworkers, I need to actually know exactly what I am getting. And this feeds a bit into the other book we read last season, which was What Got You Here Will Not Take You There. So sometimes with these themes, I actually find myself reflecting not just on one book, but they feed into each other. I think the way they've been arranged, they trigger a thought process that helps you self-reflect and grow yourself. So this has been me. This has been my experience. I think I'm still gonna stick here until I am able to get where I am. I'm still on a self discovery journey. I think I'm on the right path. And for those ones who this is their first time in the book club, welcome and stay with us. So thank you, Coach, and over to you.
Wow, amazing. Let us celebrate Ina in the chat. That has been an amazing story and great takeaways. And you have introduced, we had a theme for the year. Now we have monthly themes, and clarity is one of them that has been super good. I'll also take that. I will be having some themes for the month. Thank you so much, Ina, for that. Right now, we want now to bring in the theme for the year. The theme for the year, it was becoming. And I want to bring in our next speaker, Abhishek. Abhishek, get ready as I introduce you. So that is Abhishek. Abhishek, can't you celebrate Ina? It is gratitude. We must say we are grateful for her presenting. I need to see that we are appreciating that. Yes, thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Abhishek, for celebrating Ina. Thank you. It's a habit we are building, and we build that habit by actually doing it, that you learn see what is positive in people. So Abhishek Joy is a loved daughter of the Most High God. She tells me she's a born-again Christian. She's intentional in becoming a peaceful, God-fearing woman. She's keen on intentional parenting. And she tells me that she's passionate about emotional intelligence, reflective journaling, and she says that is her go-to decompressor. She will tell us more about this. What is this? Financial stability and personal financial management, she says, is what makes her tick. Okay. So Abhishek joined us in season 13. These are all new people. Season 14, and she is in season 15. She says she leaped with all her energy into the book club because she says in her own words, I want to learn more on how to lead myself and to be a great leader. Abhishek? I hope she's in. Abhishek? Abhishek, are you in? She was. Is that happened? Okay. I'm in.
Hi, Coach.
Yes. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. I don't know why technology is taking me out just before I start. I wanted to join in with my laptop so that I'm able to share my PowerPoint. I don't know whether you have it on your end as I wait for my machine.
Oh my goodness. Last time you had shared on my email? Had shared with me? Okay, let me see whether I can get it. You there, Abby?
It's back. My machine is sharing.
Oh, it's back, eh? So welcome.
Yes,
and
yes.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Let me try to share again. Are you able to enable me to share? Looks like you have disabled us from sharing.
I'm not disabled you, but let me just. Not able to share? Okay. Now?
Let me see. Let me see. Great.
All right. You said?
Yeah, there.
You have not shown, yeah. Beautiful.
Okay.
Yes. Now go to slideshow so that we can see.
Yeah, that's where I want to go.
Beautiful. So just a minute, Abhishek. So Abhishek is introducing to us those who are new and even those in the book club, just a reminder to ourselves about the theme of the year, that is becoming. Becoming is the theme of the year, and we read the book Becoming by former First Lady Michelle Obama. Continue.
Okay. Thanks again, Coach. Sorry for the technology hitch, but I'm happy to be here. And maybe I take out from Ina that she has monthly themes. That's so amazing. And I want to also be an embracer to that idea that I can have monthly themes of something that I'm actually working on in terms of getting out of the maze, making my life amazing, and also becoming. So yeah, I'm here tonight to just share my takeouts from the book of one done by Michelle Obama, Becoming, an introduction. And what the book was about is that it's a memoir by the first lady she was a first lady. And I'll just read as I had annotated.
Nikufanyie favor.
Continue.
Okay. So, Becoming is the deeply personal memoir of former First Lady Michelle Obama. In this enlightening book, she reflects on her experiences and growth, sharing her triumphs and struggles. The narrative provides a unique insight into her journey from childhood to the White House. So the bits that I picked, one was that under early life and upbringing of Michelle Obama, she was born and raised in a close-knit family on the south side of Chicago, and she cherished moments playing and exploring outdoors, instilling her with a deep sense of curiosity and resilience. Her supportive parents encouraged her to value education and integrity, shaping her character from an early age. So at that point, I realized that each of us has a source. Our upbringing is the initial source of the mindset we pick about life. And it also speaks to what Coach was trying to say about our self-limiting beliefs. So it can be either the opposite, self-limiting, or the opposite of that. And when I was reflecting, I said I was raised as a PK. For those who not know the PK, PK is a pastor's kid. And so most of my thoughts lines were just around God and spirituality. But while growing up now, I am doing a lot of wholeness integration into that sector of my upbringing. And then under education and career, before meeting Barack Obama, Michelle graduated from Princeton University with a BA in sociology and received a JD from Harvard Law School. And she worked at a law firm and later as an associate dean of student services at the University of Chicago. So her focus was on community service and diversity initiative. And I was reflecting on how I grew up when I looked at how education and career shaped Michelle. I realized in my life, I grew up being a top ranking student, exam-wise, all through my primary education. However, in high school, it was easy, though I struggled to rank top, but I finished in a very strong way because in my Form 1 and Form 2, I think I struggled with acclimatization and the new culture of being away from home. I'd done all my initial primary school studies as a day scholar. I moved into boarding and all. I think it worked somehow against that. But by Form 3, I picked up and I finished pretty strong in Form 4. My campus life again was a new one, which would then be my best in terms of lots of intentionality in the people I got to meet and to travel. Because in between, I would make sure I maximize the times that I used to be free. So for me, when I reflect about my education, I think it was a very nice highlight. So meeting and falling in love with Barack Obama, Michelle Obama and Barack first met at the law firm, Sidley Austin, and the initial encounter was marked by a warm and candid atmosphere, sparking the beginning of their journey every time. Their connection deepened, leading to a loving and enduring relationship. Their relationship blossomed amid shared values, mutual respect, and a commitment to making a positive impact on the world. And in terms of my reflection, I always have a one-time space of saying my all-time marriage reflection is marry your friend and let there be mutual respect and commitment. So even looking at what Michelle would write about Barack, you would see that the highlight of the values that they shared and the respect they had for each other was definitely what made them grow together and blossom together as a couple and as a first family during the term that Barack was a president. So life as a first lady of the United States, she had quite a number of things that she focused on. One was public service and advocacy, and she championed important causes such as education and healthy living by launching initiative and advocating for policy changes. She also had a lot of global impact where she represented the United States on the international stage, engaging with the world leaders and promoting diplomacy and culture change. And she brought up about resilience and grace. Through intense public scrutiny, she maintained grace and composure, and inspiring many with her resilience and unwavering dedication. And you would find that so many times in the book, whenever she would find herself being criticized of how she either spoke or how she came out, as long as she knew what she was trying to bring forth, she would maintain a lot.
Nashukuru sana Dr. Gupta Perina. Lakini mapema kabla niwe au kwenye safari zetu za kuendelea.
Someone else who unmuted. Thank you. So, and you find that she had very intentional initiatives and projects during her time in the White House. The education ones, where she spearheaded educational programs to empower youth through learning and knowledge, and the healthy living, where she had transformed part of the White House farm to plant new grocery space, and even have talks in companies that supply lunch to children, and get even to help people embrace healthy living for the children and check on their obesity levels. So she was very keen on what she was bringing out as a first lady, and the impact that it will have at the end of the day to the society. In between, she still experienced a lot of challenges and criticism. And as I had earlier mentioned, there was public scrutiny, constant media attention, and criticism on her appearance and speeches. At times, like we have a politician in our country, they would pinpoint how she dressed, how she spoke, and all those things. And the policy advocacy, she would face criticism for her active involvement in policy initiative as the first lady, where people would try to put her down and say, it was Obama who's supposed to be doing this and this. Why is she doing that? And the racial bias, that she was one of a color and not like other first ladies who are white. So faced racial biases and prejudice that were widely covered in the media. And at this point, under criticism, I think I had a few moments of reflection, and I said, sorry. I said I grew up shielded from the harsh world, and I coined it up like I was podded in terms of, maybe I could say, when you're growing up as a bastard child, you may not be exposed to the harshness around you. Your home is still maintaining a lot of nice morals and values, and so you may not experience a lot of negativity, if I was to put it like that, or you may not experience a lot of harshness from a family setup, or even from your siblings or from the people that you interact with, because most of them will interact with you with this notion that you're a pastor's child. However, still, I got to learn how to set boundaries from a very tender age, with a few experiences when I was growing up. But my most intense experience with criticism came after I got married, I mean. And it was such a struggle. But when I joined season 13 and now 14 with Becoming, there was a culmination of helping me to keep on being an intentional woman or an intentional person who is keen to own my space, irrespective of what is happening around me. Because at times criticism would bog me down, with that notion of having a space where people consider you to be the best, and they go ahead to treat you as the best when you're a child. Now, as opposed to when you're adulting, and now there are other people who are courageous enough to put you down, to criticize you, and to even voice it out in your, at your face. And I think book club was my best landing space. That is how I can say it, that it was my best landing space. After a whole year of therapy, I did a lot of therapy last year because I wanted to do lots of self-discovery and just getting to know exactly who I am and exactly who I am becoming. So when I got to see season 14's theme of becoming, to me, I think I was home and dry. And it's been my safe space to date. And that's why I was saying I like doing a lot of journaling. It's my way of decompressing. Most of the time, coach keeps on telling us, post your VH victory hour for those who are new in the space. And at times I end up doing a whole hour of journaling in the morning when I was supposed to be doing exercise. Okay, sorry. I think one of my child is crying somewhere, but she's being attended to, sorry. So I would end up even journaling for the entire 1 hour that I'm supposed to be doing my VH, as opposed to doing a few minutes and all, because having realized the person I want to become, I realize journaling helps me to reflect, refocus, and rethink the things I want to either address in my life, pre or post, like what I have gone through or what I want to be. And when journaling, that's when I get most of my aha moments. Like when I have set goals and I feel as if the goals I had set, I've already achieved them. When I'm journaling, that's when I realize, I get new ideas. This is what I can do next. Actually, this is the next goal that I can do as a short term or a long term. So for me, I think journaling is my safest space so far. And every time I see coach saying VH, my VH begins with journaling first, and then it comes to exercise, and the rest follows. I also moved into prayer writing in the same space of journaling. So every morning I have to journal, and then in reflection side, and also journal my prayers. So I write my prayers every day for the specific things that I am grateful for the specific things that I'm trusting God for. And then I have a list of friends that I pray for every single day, and I let them know that I am praying for you for this. And most of them who even reach out to say, are you praying for me on this and this? So I input them in my prayer journal every single day. Yeah, so much about journaling and that. So under personal growth and self-discovery, Michelle was good in quiet contemplation and introspection. And I think I just spoke about that I do a lot of quiet time and journaling daily from 4:15 a.m. and lots of introspection. Exploring new paths, seeking new opportunities and challenges, was good at that. I'm also getting into that bit of online training and emotional intelligence and self-development. I am liking more of emotional intelligence as a new path that I want to keep on exploring and embracing. And that bit is embracing change. She was adapting to evolving circumstances and perspective. And as Ina was putting it, that change is a constant. So I gracefully accept that the only constant thing in this life is change. At times it's to my favor, other times it's not easy. It's not like something I want to embrace. It's a bit painful, but I keep on saying I want to embrace that change. Life after White House. After leaving the White House, Michelle Obama continues to be an influential figure, focusing on initiatives related to education, health, and women's empowerment. She also remains an advocate for healthy living and continues to inspire through her public speaking engagement and best-selling books. So impact on legacy of Michelle Obama, inspiring others. So Michelle Obama's impactful speech and initiative continues to inspire people worldwide. I remember when I was doing this book, I kept on going to the YouTube to see the song that she recorded on. She was a first lady. And you can see it keeps on getting more and more views on YouTube, meaning there are people who still get inspired by her to date. Literacy advocacy, her Let's Move and Reach Higher campaigns remain influential, promoting literacy and healthy living. Diversity and inclusion, her efforts to promote diversity and inclusion have left a lasting impact on society. And role model Michelle Obama's grace and poise have set a compelling standard for future leader. So my main take homes, like a summary for the whole book, is that one, becoming aware of how my upbringing works for or against me, being courageous enough to shake up what works against me, like Coach was saying, like shaking up the limiting beliefs I could have picked during my childhood. Two, becoming aware of the person I am and the goals I would wish to achieve in life, setting them either alone or with the help of people in my circle. Number three, becoming intentional in the friends I keep, show me your friends, that kind of a thing. And then knowing why I have them in my life. Four, evolving to be a present woman in every aspect of my life, at work, as a mother, as a wife, and in the society as a whole. And then establishing a life path that I will carry on to impact the society and bring change through focused initiative. And yes, thank you. That ends my presentation.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Abhishek, Joy, Muriuki, thank you so much for sharing with us and reminding us of the story of becoming. So the question this evening is, who are you becoming? This is April, actually mid-April, and we are almost to the mid of the year. At the beginning of the year, you set enough goals for yourself. You said this year, this is a must. This is a must. I must accomplish this. Who are you becoming? That is the question. We have learned from Michelle Obama and from the amazing presentation by Abhishek. We have our takeaways. So what are your takeaways? Who are you becoming? That's a very important question as we answer that. So thank you, kindly appreciate Joy in the chat for that. You can see the commitment she had preparing that presentation for you. And she read and she shared her own reflections. It just tells you about the power of commitment. And this is what it unlocks in us. Especially she talked about journaling prayers for self and others. That is super amazing. Awesome. Yes. Powerful. Yes. That was just a wow, wow, wow. We are learning. We are becoming. That was a great presentation, Abhishek. Last time you were not able to present, but you see, God's timing, there's always an opportunity. Allow me now to introduce my next speaker. This is an amazing lady. Just a minute. Introducing to you Joyce Mushena, and I love the way she appears so gorgeous here. She's an international development practitioner in gender diversity and inclusivity, currently working with a private foundation as the head of gender mainstreaming. Joyce is also an executive coach in training and a leadership enthusiast. She is a mother of 2 adult sons and a firm believer in building wealth for current and future generations. No wonder, Joyce, you're in rich and royal, because that's where you belong. You're a royal lady. You wear your crown with pride. And Joyce found her purpose in the empowerment of girls and women, and I'm so happy that we are here now to learn from her. And she believes that these girls and women can conquer new territories in every sphere of their lives. Absolutely. By just being brave enough to get out of the maze. Joyce Mushena, take it away. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach Lois. Good evening, everyone. Allow me to ask, how much time do we have, Coach? It's kind of night time.
15 minutes. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Okay, so help us God. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Please allow me to also acknowledge some of my friends that are not necessarily members of the book club, but they joined because I invited them. So also showing gratitude for people who show up where you invite them. Pam, I can see you. Hilda, I can see you. Jerry, Mariam, thank you so much for being in my audience. I would not, I don't have any PowerPoint presentation. Recognizing that I was going to be standing between you and your sleep, I thought we could just have a fireside chat for the next 10 minutes. So I'll start with a question and close with a question. I'm learning how to be a coach. So coaches carry around questions. So allow me to ask the first question. And the question is, what would you do if you were not afraid? So feel free, if you have a notepad, to answer for yourself, what would you do if you were not afraid? My reflection is going to be based on the first book that I think Ina spoke about, but it's also going to be based on my own lived experience of, witnessing many mazes in my life and getting out of some and not getting out of others, because life really is an amazing set of one maze after another. So when I was preparing for this session, I asked myself, so which particular maze is shareable, right? So it can be, I've been in mazes, in relationships, in jobs, in situations with family members. You've been in a maze of just existential anxiety, wondering where life is going to take. And because being in the book club also communicates safety, being in a women's space where people want to be real, people want real stories. So I'll actually talk about the maze of my life, getting out of a dysfunctional intimate relationship. So the year is 2001, and I'm very glad that Hilda and Jerry are here because they are part of that story of my life. So stay with me, but I won't go into the details. I'll just say I got myself into a relationship as a very young woman, and it wasn't working. And that is the maze that I feel inspired to share today, because we are all women, and probably struggling with a job is less intense than struggling with a relationship. And so I hope someone will take something out of here. So when I think about that situation of, feeling unsafe where you should be feeling safest, feeling uncertain about what next, are you going to see tomorrow because of just how intense and how bad the situation is? Or, so what are your friends going to say? Especially when you think about, as I think Joy just pointed out, our background really informs how we see things. So coming from a stable family, with a mother who kept a marriage, watching my big sister keep a marriage, I'm getting here and I'm like, we even have songs that talk about, when you marry from Meru, you have a guarantee of 20 years. So I'm like, oh, it's supposed to be guaranteed, but this is not looking good. So I find myself in that maze. I'm young. I have a child. I just straight out of school, no job, no way of getting out of this maze without jeopardizing other situations. So the whole issue of being very afraid, facing all the issues around what will people say. So when I think about myself then and what I have also experienced from other women, it's a whole area of feeling aggrieved and I think it was Ina who talked about Hem, the guy in the Out of the Maze book, and feeling aggrieved, thinking about the fear of failure, thinking about the judgment, but also feeling a little bit arrogant, especially being young, and you're like, I mean, I can start my life all over again. Why not? So that's where your values, your belief systems come into play. And here I think I came face to face with the reality of like having a very supportive community of friends, a very supportive family, and being able to face the fear, knowing that I'll be afraid, but I'll do it anyway. And I think there's actually a book written by an author. I think I'll remember. It goes by the same title. Feel the fear, but do it anyway. So I felt the fear, but did it anyway. So I stepped out of the maze. However, when you step out of a physical maze, there's a lot of mental maze that you're still in. And so how I stayed true to exiting the maze was through very intentional personal development. So for me, that's why I plug into any personal development opportunity that I find, because that's how I've stayed true to this. So I stayed in that maze for about 5 years, very terrified, but getting out of it, I also found other terrifying things, because you hear stories like, oh yeah, you're a single mother, the society has its own things about single mothers. And that maze is kind of like an extension of the earlier maze. And so for women who might be finding themselves in these situations and wondering, you left a physical unsafety situation, but you're also feeling psychologically unsafe, it's because then we have to keep constantly struggling to stay out of the maze, being positive and all that. So looking at my beliefs and the beliefs I had to change were, it is not about me anymore. I've tried everything. It's not working. It's okay. Let me let this go. And letting go of that belief that, this is for keeps, this is for good, this is to work forever, was a big leap. It takes God, it takes a lot of courage. And I found myself in that situation. But what I took out of it, and the book Out of the Maze talks about that very clearly, is what kind of tools will you need to get yourself out of the maze, right? Grabbing your old bag of tools of this is how I've always done life may not work. You could easily die in the maze carrying your bag of old useless things. So my tooling myself up included, for example, enrolling for a counseling and psychology course, because then I was also already working with women, and I was like, I need to be good. I can't give what I don't have. And that's one of them. The other tools, of course, are about self-care, self-development, learning how to make money and make more money, because otherwise not having money can also land you back into those traumatic experiences. So changing your mind about what you think is gonna work and asking yourself what next is the only way you can get out of the maze. Being curious and being courageous. The other thing that I found useful was to actually recognize that beliefs are not necessarily all bad. Some very good, strong beliefs can carry you out of the maze. And in my work with communities, I've come to appreciate two sets of beliefs. On the one hand, you have beliefs that you can't go through that situation. So you kind of presume yourself above a situation. There's another set of beliefs that makes you feel like, oh, you are done for. You're apathetic. There's nothing you can do about this. And both sets of beliefs are negative, because if you presume yourself above a situation, you're not ready for it, and you won't be able to take action when it happens. when you are apathetic, you're also not doing anything to get out of it. So positive beliefs have to make you aware that for as long as you're alive, you are a subject of the mazes of life. And how do you prepare yourself to be ready in case a maze happens? 3 years ago, COVID happened globally, and all of us were thrown into very unfamiliar situations. We couldn't even go for chama, the place where we normally unwind. We found ourselves, all of us, at home together. We have no idea what to do with our children when schools are not, when they're not going to school. You have a relationship that is not working, but you're stuck in the house together with someone that you would rather not look at twice. So all this is to say, you need certain tools in life to be able to get into a maze and out quickly, because there's no telling when the next maze is happening. It could be even a freak accident that happens and you find yourself in a situation that you were never ready for. So it's about having flexibility of mind and having an open approach to life that allows you to see things clearly and almost laugh at yourself. So there's this character, actually, this guy called Hem in the book, who gets to a place where he laughs at himself. He finds it so ridiculous that he was stuck there and is able to almost like hold a mirror in front of himself and laugh. So are you able to, stay open and know that you're not God? I mean, we are not God. We can go through anything, and be flexible. And one way to do that as women is really being in a circle of support. I think Coach Lois talked about that at the beginning, and being able to plug in to help without feeling embarrassed. I am one person who actually believes there's nothing like a personal problem in this world. There's nothing you go through that some other person has not gone through and come out of, and would perhaps help you come out of it sooner. So I would invite you to consider that even as you think about getting out of any one maze, oftentimes the outside of one maze could be the inside of another. In fact, those who have read Francis Mbuga's book called Betraying the City, there's one character there that says, the outside of one cell might as well be the inside of another. So that's how I like to look at life. But how do I stay afloat? By staying positive, by having positive self-talk, but most importantly, in the recent years, and especially how I coped with Corona lockdowns, was actually through practicing gratitude. Like every morning, I wake up and have me time that is not negotiable. It's me time. I would pray, I would read, I would meditate, I would do whatever it is I would need to do, and level my energy and be ready for the day, because then the world will not do those things for you. Then I think the other thing I would like to just mention is when Coach says be a magnet, like don't fight, be a magnet, is you will attract the energy you have. So once you level your energy internally, you're able to actually be peaceful. And my friends know I can claim my life is amazing, because I think it is. And I count it as a blessing of God. But what I actually kind of stay with every day is a question I want to leave you with tonight. What are you not willing to tolerate in your current maze? Whether it's a job, whether it's a business, whether it's a relationship, whether it's even your child that is truant, whether it is your parent that is becoming unreasonable, whether it is even your weight that you are carrying around, either you're too light or you're too heavy, depending, and up and until you determine for yourself the things you're not willing to tolerate, you can rest assured you'll stay in that maze. So I invite you tonight to really list down for yourself the things you are unwilling to tolerate, and do whatever it takes to get yourself out of the maze because even if you don't do, the maze is not going to get out of you. So, Coach, please allow me to stop here. And thank you very much for your attention.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thanks her for Joyce in the chat. Kindly let's appreciate her for that amazing presentation. She has shared with us her own journey, how she turned around her maze into an amazing life. And she has given us nuggets and strategies of how she made it. And she has asked us powerful questions, questions that if you reflect, then you can never, never be in the maze. You will transform your life to be amazing. Thank you so, so much, Joyce, and thank you all our speakers this evening. It has been an amazing evening. We have learned, we have unlearned, and we have relearned. What are you not willing to tolerate? Yes. That's such an awesome, awesome reflective question. So thank you so much. Joyce Mwangi says, calm personality and amazing sharing. Yes, that is Joyce for you. She is in the Rich and Royal Club, and she gave us a presentation on how to turn around our maze of scarcity into abundance. So thank you so much, Joyce, and thank you all our speakers. It has been an amazing evening. I am glad. I think we've come now to the end. That was Joyce. Yes, we have listened to Abhishek. We've talked about the Iam Leading Book Club. That's what the books that we were reviewing this evening. And this is also to invite you, this is to members of the book club and the Women of Excellence, that growth, as we have heard, is never an accident. It doesn't just happen. And introducing the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, which is a 10 weeks virtual program. And this takes place in the month of May, but we are starting, our first meeting will be the last week of April. For all those who are interested, we shall have a conversation around this area. So growth never ends, and it's never an accident. Another course that we are having is She Speaks to Inspire and Impact. And this is also taking place in the month of May. So we have opportunities to move to the next level. Don't stay stuck in the maze. They support, there is help. I was to read this, Life is Not a Race. I found it online and I think it's worth sharing. Do not undermine your worth by comparing yourself with others. It is because we are different that each of us is special. Do not set your goals by what other people deem important. Only you know what is best for you. Do not take for granted the things closest to your heart. Cling to them as you would your life, for without them, life is meaningless. Do not let your years slip through your fingers by living in the past, nor in the future. By living your life one day at a time, you live all the days of your life. Do not give up when you still have something to give. Nothing is really over until the moment you stop trying. Do not be afraid to encounter risks. It is by taking chances that we learn how to be brave. And I think Joyce has just demonstrated that, the power of courage. Do not shut love out of your life by saying it is impossible to find. The quickest way to receive love is to give love. The fastest way to lose love is to hold it too tightly. Do not dismiss your dreams. To be without dreams is to be without hope. To be without hope is to be without purpose. Do not run through life so fast that you forget not only where you have been, but also where you are going. Ladies and gentlemen, life is not a race, but a journey to be enjoyed each step of the way. It has been an amazing evening, and thank you so much, all of us, for showing up so powerfully. Women of excellence, our guests who have come the first time we're interacting, thank you very much. A lucha continua. In the book club, we continue. We still have 2 more books before we come back here for another lovely conversation. So tomorrow, let's start our victory hour. Let's continue the journaling. Let's continue praying. Let's continue hydrating. Let's continue working out. Remember, it is your life. It is your race. Don't compete with anyone. Don't run. Be a magnet and attract all these blessings into your life. So with those few remarks, thank you so much for showing up and have a great evening. Bye-bye. God bless you. Nice time. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Eunice. Thank you, Alberta. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Tulian. Thank you, Mariam. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you and have a good evening.